Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. We begin with Neymar, as Neymar's arrival could cause a painful departure at Barcelona. Who can that painful departure be? We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, in this episode, talking about Ansu Fati, as the Barca forward is reportedly was very hurt by Xavi's comments following the Tottenham clash in the Joan Gamper Trophy. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Over the past 24 hours or so, there has been a lot of talk surrounding Neymar and his possible return to FC Barcelona. Multiple sources have reported that the Brazilian international could be headed back to Catalonia with talks ongoing between him and PSG over the termination of his contract. It has been suggested that Barca would be offering an initial one-year contract to Neymar on a low salary, with the 31-year-old then being handed an improved renewal in 2024. Of course, even if the former Barcelona man agrees to reduce his salary drastically, given the financial fair play situation, the club may have to sanction an important exit. And now Josep Capdevila is reporting that if Neymar were to arrive at Barca from PSG, it could lead to a departure from the club that would be painful for the fans. While the journalist does not mention any specific name, he states that the exit would be difficult to accept for coolers. It would suggest that Barcelona may have to end up sacrificing a homegrown talent to accommodate Neymar at the club. Only earlier this week, we did report that club president Juan Laporta wanted to make a big name signing, and as such, the Catalans could be open to selling Ansu Fati. The 20-year-old has impressed in pre-season, and the club's coaching staff is said to be delighted with his current situation. But it must be remembered that Xavi did not necessarily close the doors on his exit during his post-match presser after the Joan Gamper trophy clash against Tottenham. But Ferran Torres and Rafinha could also be possible candidates. The former has been linked with an exit all summer, while the latter has a good market and could fetch a big fee. Nothing is set in stone currently though, and much will depend on how negotiations between PSG and Neymar regarding the contract termination progress. Of course, Neymar's coming is still a very difficult one to imagine, but of course, multiple sources have been giving us that optimism that Neymar to Barcelona is looking like a reality, more than not. And with this report claiming that his return to Barca will lead to a painful departure of a certain player, the journalists haven't mentioned any name, but of course, it is highly, how can I put it? The guess can be Ansu Fati. Like I just said earlier, it likely could be Ansu Fati. Of course, Ansu Fati plays same position with Neymar on that left wing. And Ansu Fati's future have been not certain, especially this last week. There have been a lot of reports coming out saying that Ansu Fati wants to be sold. The player wants to stay, but it seems as though Xavi is not really that convinced, even though the player had a good preseason. Ansu Fati's future is still not that certain, and a lot of reports, a lot of links elsewhere, but the player have resisted and said he must stay at this club. He really wants to play and he wants to make it. He haven't succeeded, right? We cannot say Ansu Fati have succeeded as a Barca player. Coming from the La Masia back in 2019, Ansu have been doing well, but injuries have not led him to do his work well. Last season, when he had a chance to do well, when he was mostly 100% fit majority of that season, Ansu Fati couldn't deliver, and of course, his season In fact, his career so far has not been the way all of us, the Barca fans, saw it coming until he was trusted, given the number 10 shirt by the club after Messi left, and many saw it as a big bonus for him, but he couldn't carry on with the pressure. That is why Ansu Fati have resisted all the links from the Premier League, even from Saudi Arabia. They have been showing interest for Ansu Fati, but the player have insisted that he must stay. Even his father, Bori Fati, have come out and said, Ansu, please leave that club. It isn't meant for you. You don't deserve the way Xavi is treating you. But what is Ansu Fati saying? He isn't living for anybody, and that is where there's a problem. But of course, I want Ansu Fati to stay. I've always said that. Personally, I want Ansu to be at this club next season. But if this report is saying that there will be a huge sacrifice that it will pain many fans, I guess who will be Ansu Fati they are talking about. But the journalist did not mention his name. So let's see. Neymar's coming still complicated, but Barca are still waiting for the club, for PSG and the players' representative to come to an agreement, because what is highly expected is Neymar's contract will be terminated. It is not something that is guaranteed though. It's just something that Barca are seeing it coming. Maybe highly possible. So let's see how it's gonna be. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona forward Ansu Fati and his entourage were left very hurt by the statements made by manager Xavi Hernandez in his last press conference after Joan Gamper Trophy match against Tottenham. According to Gerard Romero, Fati's future has been a subject of much speculation this summer, and for a long while it was believed that he would be on his way out. But recently, it has been suggested that owing to his firm stance of not wanting to leave, coupled with his improved pre-season form and the departure of Ousmane Dembele, Fati would stay at Barca. So what did Xavi say after the John Camper Trophy? However, speaking after the game, he said, "We'll see. We depend a lot on fair play. He's Ansu Fati is training with us and he's playing very well, but there is a market until August 31st. So we can see what Xavi said, right? By saying so, Xavi did not close the doors on Fati, possibly leaving the club before the transfer window slams shut. Since then, it has been reported that Xavi and his coaching staff are delighted with how Fati is doing in pre-season, but an exit cannot be ruled out if a good offer were to arrive. However, as per Romero, Xavi's words have caused some hurt to Fati and his entourage. It must be noted that Ansu's father has been vocal about his unhappiness with the forward's lack of game time in the past. Despite this, though, it is unlikely that Fati will change his stance on his future. The La Masia graduate remains firm that he wishes to stay put at Barca and succeed at his boyhood club. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.